What's up, everyone? Ronnie Cruz here with Path of the Network Marketer, 365-day video journey, where I bring you a fresh new video every day chronicling my adventures as I learn how to leverage social media to build my network marketing business. That's tough. That's tough to say while walking, especially trying to keep my footing and making sure I don't step on dog doo. Yeah, I just coming to you from my driveway. I thought I'd take a stroll and give you guys something else to look at besides me and the camping chair or me on my porch on the picnic table. Um, yeah. I completely forgot what I was going to talk about in this one. Oh yeah, okay. So um, I wanted to talk about. I was originally going to do a vlog, but I really had nothing to share of importance or significance or yeah, nothing left to share about my current situation that I already haven't. At least not at this moment. I don't feel like really hashing it and talking about it any more than I already have. So I wanted to talk today about a topic, network marketing topic, specifically. Well, because this particular topic it just came up recently, in my team. Well, and I'm sure this happens in all organizations in network marketing, whether or not it's within my company, outside my company, within your team, outside your teams, outside your companies, right? It happens on all different levels. And given that my organization is of a size where leaders, I have very kind of independent leaders that are doing their own thing, that have their own organizations to lead and continue to build. Inevitably, this is something that happens, and I feel like it makes sense, but it's really, I think, a practice and a mindset that leaders, emerging leaders in network marketing, as you grow your team, you got to be really cognizant of this, because okay, so I guess I'll just talk about it. Um, I've seen, again, in and out of my team, in and out of my own company, across the board, in my experience in network marketing, I've seen over my career leaders wanting to insulate their teams from other leaders' influences, right? If that makes sense. Or well, yeah. Well, because again, it's fair because we want to make sure that our teams aren't being influenced with strategies or tactics or even mindsets and cultures that could be detrimental to their own growth, right? That could be distractions or counterproductive to what they're trying to do, right? Right. And again, I get it, right? Like you like the it's a natural thing to want to protect your team from those, because we all work so hard to build what we have. Number one, we want to protect that, and also we want to make sure that again our organization, our team members, our business partners aren't negatively influenced, right? Aren't being exposed to erroneous or unhelpful information. Again, I get it. It makes total sense on paper. However, understand that if you are insulating your team to the point where they're not being exposed to any other influence than you, then you ultimately will end up being the major bottleneck in the growth of your organization. Simple as that. Because if they don't have any other influence than you, they're also potentially missing out on important perspectives, like maybe your upline's perspective or your sponsor's perspective, or whatever that might be, right? Um, you're limiting their growth to whatever your certain ceilings are, your personal ceilings, right? Because if they don't have, if you're limiting their exposure to other people, they're going to be capping out in their growth based on where you are in your growth, right? All right, so it's, again, on paper it makes sense to do that because you want to protect the golden goose, but it's also incredibly, incredibly limiting. I have always operated under the principle that if one of my leaders or one of my business partners wants to go explore other things, right? Other leaders, go listen to other people of influence, try new tactics. I'm gonna say yes or no to that because it's not my job to do that. I don't own them. They don't work for me, right? Right? As a sponsor, it's my job to give them what I can give them to the best of my ability. And I never say that there are any absolutes. I never speak in wrongness or rightness. I'm like, okay, this is my perspective. This is what I've done. This is what I know to have worked for me. If it doesn't jive with you, then go find somebody else to be mentored by, or go find another perspective, because I want you to succeed. And I, at the very least, do not want to be the limit, the thing that holds you back from success, right? Right? And again, if you insulate your team, then you ultimately end up becoming the thing that holds them back. There's no getting around it. There's no getting around it, unless yeah, yeah. Yeah, we don't own our teams. Our teams don't work for us, and to try to keep them, well, yeah. Worst case scenario is like trying to subjugate your team to only your leadership. That's just an ego play to begin with. But you know, it can play out as a protective reaction, and really, it ends up not being. It ends up not being that because you end up limiting. Again, you end up limiting what your team is exposed to, and potentially things that they could do better, and ideas and strategies and principles that they could improve with, right? Right. So don't narrow. Yeah, yeah. It's allowing them as broad an exposure and perspective as possible. And if it's just you, it's really narrow. It's really narrow, and so will the growth be very narrow, right? So yeah, that's just something to think about, guys. I mean, there are some unsavory things out there. There might be leaders in your own company that you don't jive with or agree with, and that's fine. But it's still, you got to leave that up to your team to decide, right? You got to leave that up to your leaders to decide for themselves. Don't make that decision for them, because if you do, well, yeah, again, you're limiting them based on your own prejudices and your own limitations. It's simple as that. So that's the message I want to leave today in this video. I'm gonna try to fire off a few more today so I can get ahead of it, so I can continue to recover and rest. Yeah, truthfully, I'm operating at minimal capacity right now, purposefully, just to allow myself space. You know what I mean? As much as I continue to do this, it's great as to keep me occupied. But I like, I don't know, grief takes a lot of energy. Hi, baby. And I have four other babies that need my attention, right? Kyler N, he's a good boy. He's my co-star at this point. He's my co-star at this point on the show. So, you want to say anything, Kylo? No? Okay. All right, so yeah, tune in for more. We'll catch you tomorrow. So until then, be well, be safe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.